Hello friends, today in this tutorial I will be showing you a very simple example of how to use observables inside your Angular 14 application, how we can declare a very basic observable inside RxJS and how to basically do this. So this is my sample Angular 14 application. You will see that nothing is there. It is a very basic project, and now to basically make a observable call here, guys, what we need to do is that we need to simply declare the variable here, which I will call this as observable. And inside this, basically here we just need to call that constructor new and then observable. So as you know, guys, inside Angular we did not have to install a external library. It automatically comes with Angular 14. You will see it was automatically imported from RxJS. RxJS stands for reactive JavaScript. It's a third-party library which makes it easy to return streaming data. So as you all know, guys, observables return data in stream chunks of data. So inside, basically we can initialize this observable, and here inside this we have to pass a observer. So we can call this anything, but I will call this as observer, and this basically takes a callback function, and inside this, guys, we just need to pass or return data to the subscriber. So whichever user which is subscribed to this observable will get the data. So now how we can return the data, we will use the next method. So here we can simply call observer, and it contains a lot of methods out there. You see we can have add, closed, complete, error. So we will also look how to tackle errors as well, and a lot of events as well inside this observable. So here we will use this next method, guys, and here you can write any string value, any number, any object, any array. Let's suppose I want to return a value here, John Williamson. If I write here, you will see basically it will return this data. If I again write some more values, I will call next again, Tom Lipton. You will see we have written two names out there, and now how we can simply print this out in the console, it's very easy. Now we need to subscribe to this observable. It's very simple how we can do that. We can do this inside ng on init. So we can simply write here, we can initialize on init, and here we just need to implement ng on init method. And inside this lifecycle hook method of Angular, guys, we can simply initialize this dot observable, and this contains a method, guys, which is called as subscribe. We need to first of all subscribe to this observable. See, it is similar concept. Whenever you watch any channel on YouTube, you click the subscribe button. So subscribe simply means that you are subscribed to this observable. You will be able to get data now, and this basically contains this method out there, and it takes generally three parameters. First of all, it takes the actual data, error, and the completed event. So now we will first of all look at the data here. So this data will be returned in this callback function, guys. This will be the first callback function, and whatever data that you provide inside this next block, it will be returned inside this data. Now if I console log it, you will see basically what I am talking about. If I now console log data, and now if I try to look it inside the browser, what it will, let me see, localhost 4200, and if I now inspect element and go to the console here, you will see these two values being printed out, John Williamson and Tom Latham. You see that one by one. And basically the main difference between promises and observables, guys, promises return all the data at once, but observables return data in chunks, in stream of data. So observables return data into small chunks of data, into streams of data. So this data is returned as the first one. As we call next here, you will see it is returned here and printed out. Again it returned this data as well. Now, in order to basically show you how it is done, let me use set timeout. This is basically a JavaScript method in order to delay the timings. Let's suppose I wait 2 seconds and then I return this data. Let me just copy this, paste this line, and again I repeat these thing again this thing and this one. So this will be very good for you in understanding the things out there. Let me just, you will see basically it will now take some time here. After 2 seconds it will now return this. You will see after 2 seconds this data will be returned. Let me change this value to 5 seconds. So now what will happen, guys, after 2 seconds John Williamson will be printed out. You will see now it will take 3 more seconds to print out Tom Latham. You will see that. So you are saying that this is basically the observables. It basically returns data in a chunks of data, streams of data, not it doesn't return data at once fully. It divides the data into chunks of data. So this basically supports asynchronous data fetching inside your Angular 14 application. And also, guys, we have uh, functionality of tackling errors as well inside. Let's suppose if any sort of error take place here, let's suppose at the very top, I can even write here, this basically contains this error method, and here we can define our custom error. Let's suppose I write here some error take place. So if I now write this line error, this data will not be fetched. This error will take place and this data will not be fetched. Now if I see, if I need to print out this error, we need to first of all provide this error callback, and here we can simply alert out the error simply like this. So you will see that some error take place inside the alert statement printed out, and in the console you will see no more data is printed out. So once this error take place, guys, no more data will be fetched here after that. Let's suppose we are returned some data before that, data in before error. So here what we can do is that instead of console logging it, we can alert this data. So what you will see, guys, if I data before error, you will see data before the error is returned to us, but after that some error take place, and then after that the data is not there. So once this error take place, guys, this data will not be returned to you. And similarly we have this completed as well. So once the data fetching is completed, you can basically call this method observable complete, that's all. So this basically will have a callback. So this is very useful. Whenever your data fetching is complete, then you can show a alert message to the user that your data fetching is complete. So this basically it's the third callback function, and here we can simply say data fetching is complete. So what you will see basically, let me delete this error message. So here you will see data before error and let me just refresh it. You will see data fetching is complete. So you will see that because because this complete is triggered, guys, this data is not returned. So once this complete callback function execute, then whatever this data is there, this will not be returned to you. So make sure that you call this method at last. So now to fix this problem, guys, we can simply just print this statement at this last here. So what you will see, data before error, and then data before error. You can see John Williamson is returned to us inside, and then Tom Latham, and then data fetching is complete. So you will see it is executing in a serial wise manner. This one executed at the very first, then this one, and then this one, and then this one. This callback function is executed whenever your data fetching is complete here, and basically it is printed out in the alert statement that data fetching is complete. So this is basically the RxJS observables, guys, how you can basically display asynchronous data inside your Angular 14 application. So all the source code I have given in the description of the video, guys. I have written a complete blog post explaining this concept in detail, so you can go to the description of the video to get all the source code. And please hit that like button, subscribe the channel, and I will be seeing you in the next video.